We are so excited to have you all here with us on another episode of Press Chat. And as you all already know, or for those of y'all who don't know, I am the host, and this is my co-host, Lady Kyra, and we are here tonight on a new episode discussing toxic relationships, developing toxic relationships with people, not knowing and some knowing that the relationships that we are establishing, we are not going to benefit from. Mm-hmm. So tonight, make sure you have your writing utensil, and please make sure you have your pads, chalkboard, diaries, journals, whatever it is that you write in, whatever it is you write with, your pen, mechanic pencil, pencil, your number 2 pencil, get a number 2 pencil with a good eraser if you need to.
And make sure they get their fingers ready because we need your feedback. We need your comments.
That's right. We need y'all to interact with us tonight and share your thoughts. Give us your opinion, your discussion on what we are going to be sharing with you all tonight, because this has to reach globally, because we want to reach everybody.
Right.
All right. So one point that I would like to discuss with you all tonight is knowing who you really are. When you understand the concept of knowing who you are, then you are more receptive to identifying people for what they are. And you are more receptive of identifying people of who they are and why they are trying to attach themselves to your life. And that's something that you have to be able to understand, because every connection is definitely not a good connection.
That's right.
And a few months ago, I posted something about there are some people who sit in high places and they sit with authority and power. They know that you need help. They are able and capable of helping you, yet they will not help you. They will sit back and watch you struggle and endure all the pain and hurt through the process and never ever lend a helping hand. That is what you call toxic abuse. That's point number 1. Jot that down. Toxic abuse. Abusing the authority, abusing the power that they have, when in fact you know and they know that they can help you get to the next level, get to the next dimension in your life. Mm-hmm. But instead, they'll only give you just enough so that you can take a few steps, but you have to return back to them to get the rest of what you need to continue to make it. Toxic abuse. So instead of them providing you with everything that you really, really need to go ahead and advance, they will rather have something above your head that they can hold against you so that you can always run back to them. Mm-hmm. Toxic. And those are the type of people, type of individuals that you do not need to be associated with. You're not benefiting from anything out of the ordeal. Only benefit that you're receiving is being able to take a few extra steps along the way. Mm-hmm. So I want you all to be able to understand the concept of surrounding yourself among people that are toxic. Toxic co-workers, toxic neighbors, toxic family members, friends that are toxic, acquaintances that are toxic, but yet and still we find ourselves dealing with the same concept day after day. Sister Shirley says, amen, feed you crumbs. They will feed you the crumbs that have fell off the table onto the floor that they have stepped on and walked over, because they feel like you are not good enough. Mm-hmm. This live is going to help somebody tonight. Come on, co-host, help me tonight.
Come on. I've been in this situation. I'm a witness again. Tell you, to be real with you, with my music.
That's right.
I've reached out to so many people, you guys, so many people about music, with helping me, and nobody would comment, nobody would text me back, nobody would do nothing. And just like Just like Brian say, you know, they just hold stuff over your head, and they know you be struggling. They know you need help.
They do.
And they don't want to help you out, you know. And what do they benefit from it? Because when they pass, it's gone. Talent gone to waste.
The talent is gone. The organ and piano is still there, but the talent has demise. It's no longer accessible.
Mm-hmm.
But people do not like to share their talents and gifts, and I don't understand why. When it's something that God has really blessed you with, they don't want to help you because they rather you get the crumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic abuse. Point number 2, I want you to write this down in your journals, your tablets, your diaries, whatever it is that you're writing in tonight. Point number 2 is, if individuals have never sown into your life, your business, your dreams, your goals, they do not need to be connected to you. That's point number 2. If you have folks who have been in your life for long periods of time, and they have never ever sown into your life, never ever sown into your ministry, never ever sown into your business, just sown into you, period. You have to reevaluate those people.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you need them? Do they need you? Do you need each other? Understand that concept. Point number 3. It's toxic if they're always coming to you seeking information.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know everything about you. So they do, and they connect with people who you are connected with so that they're able to connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I'm going to give you a prime example. Meaning, if I'm trying to connect with Kyra, and I know that Kyra loves going to the movies, so I will then connect myself with some of her friends who she goes to the movies with. And then once I start to connect with those friends, then they will provide me information that I need so that I'm able to then get connected with who? With Kyra. And then once I'm connected with Kyra, I'm able to get information because her friends have already shared things about her with me.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of people that you don't need in your life. Every conversation about your life is not deemed appropriate to share with people. Every struggle that you have encountered in your life, and I understand that people say it's good to share your testimony. I absolutely agree, but you have to be careful of who you are sharing your testimony with.
And also be careful of the people who come back and tell you, they sit up and talk with these people about you, and then they'll come back and tell you this word, and it kills me every time. Well, they said,
They.
Who is they?
I think they have become so popular. Wherever they is and whoever they are, they have become really popular.
Now, when they give you that line there, it's toxic. You better run. You better cut all ties with them, because if they can't tell you who said it, it's toxic. It's a toxic connection.
It's a waste of time.
Waste of time. You don't need to be around them.
And that goes to, what point am I on? Point number 4.
Oh, God.
If they don't add value to your life, disassociate yourself from those individuals. Like crabs in a bucket, when you start to climb a crab down and the bucket will pull you down.
That's right.
The moment that you're trying to escape, they will do everything to gain motive to pull you back down, because they don't want to see you make it. They don't want to see you succeed. They will take any little dirt, any little negative thing that they can find out about you to try to hold it over your head.
Yeah.
Toxic abuse. And you have to be so very, very careful of people, because people will come into your life. They'll try to get connected with your children, try to get connected with your spouses, with your family members, only just to get close enough to you to find out the dirt they need to find out, or to find out anything that you have done years ago, and then they find themselves using it against you. Because they are toxic, and because they are miserable, they want you to be miserable right along with them.
Mm-hmm.
They say is a popular person. Yeah, they is a very popular person.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has ever found they, but they has become so popular.
And they always wrong.
Yeah.
They be wrong about everything. They tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to know. You know, it's just
That's what they do. Point number 5. I'm trying to help somebody tonight. Point number 5, if they cannot help you grow spiritually, why are they attached to you? If they cannot help you grow spiritually, why are they attached to you? I'm going to help somebody else who's listening far away. If they cannot help you grow spiritually, why are they connected to you? You dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety, long suffering, and you're going through problems, you're having panic attacks, and yet those same very people know what you're struggling with, but has never offered a helping hand to help see you through. Never. But here you are, you're struggling, trying to find a way out. It seems almost as if you are in quicksand. Mm-hmm. You're reaching for the top. You're trying to make it out, and it seems like with quicksand, the more that you try to get yourself out, the deeper you go. Mm-hmm. And that's how toxic people work. The more that you try to get away from them, the more they try to ease their way back into your life.
Come around.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all doing this weekend?
They try to associate with the people that you associate with so that they can only become close enough to know your every move, to know your every step. Toxic people do not mean you any good. Mm-hmm. Number 6, if they are not pushing you forward, why are they associated with you? Pastor Williams says they want to be nosy, trying to get in your toxic, but they got a whole lot in theirs. Oh yeah, they got a whole lot of dirt. But because that's irrelevant to their motive, they don't care. Number 5, they are leeches, yuck, attaching and draining your spirit. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the whole motive. They want to see you fail. Mm-hmm. They may not want to see you fail right away because they love that you have to keep coming back to them. So they'll give you just enough crumbs that you got to keep coming back. Because you're still hungry, so you got to keep coming back.
Coming back for more.
You got to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And then the moment that you decide that you don't want their crumbs anymore,
it's a problem.
It becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Then that's when all hell breaks loose because you have decided that you no longer want to partake in their crumbs. You no longer want to continue to suffer. Then they try to make you feel like you're less than, like you're no good. When all along, only thing you have done was help them to become better. Mm-hmm. You fed them. You've clothed them. You gave to them. You helped them when you couldn't help yourself.
Gave them encouraging words.
Mm-hmm. Motivated them. Lifted them up. But the moment you needed them, they gave you crumbs. Yeah. Toxic. Why do people continue to be around toxic family members? There's really no problem with holidays. Mm-hmm. The issue is dealing with the toxic family members at the family functions. Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest problems. And because when you try to address the issues, family members will stick close together. And because it has never happened to them, they really don't have anything to say. They're not bothered by it because they have not been affected by it the way you have been. Mm-hmm. There are so many families all over the world that are torn apart. And I always hear people say, oh, it takes prayer. It takes prayer, but it takes more than prayer. You have to be able to have a line of communication. You have to be able to have the ability to resolve what has happened. Mm-hmm. Instead of taking dirt, throwing it on top of more dirt. Mm-hmm. That's like having dirty stink dirt. If you take fresh dirt just to throw on top of it, eventually that dirt will start stinking too. And it's only until you get rid of the dirt and get rid of the problem and identify what has happened, what has caused the hurt, that's when you're able to move on. But because family members can be so toxic, mm-hmm. and then they expect you to just Get over it. And then when you have a hard time getting over it, they say, oh, that's just how she is, or that's just how he is. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of families have broken up at. Yeah. And they spit it back in your face. They are jealous. Jealousy is evil. Mm-hmm. Use some common sense. Preacher, that's right. You got to use common sense, but everybody don't use it. We all got it, but everybody don't use it.
That's true. That's true.
Holidays are so very, very important.
You know what? Holidays just don't even seem right no more.
Oh, no, it don't.
Maybe because it seems like the grandma of the family held the family together. And grandma then died and went home to be with the Lord. And just all these families around the world, they're just breaking up. People don't want to go to family functions no more. It's crazy.
It's not crazy, it's toxic.
It's toxic. I'm sorry. It's toxic.
It is toxic.
Yeah.
And then when you don't go, what's wrong? Or they'll say, nobody never knew. What do you mean nobody never knew? Everybody knew. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew there was a problem. Nobody was willing to address the problem. Mm-hmm. Communication and learning to believe in yourself, you have to absolutely, when you are able to believe in yourself and stand on your own 2 feet and become strong by yourself, then guess what? You'll be all right.
And communication is a big part. It plays a big role in it because you have to have communication. If you don't have communication with somebody, stuff can get just, it could just get exploded. Somebody could have took it the wrong way.
Misinterpreted.
Yep. You have to have good communication. Quit all this texting and just call the person. Call the person up.
You have to stop group text messaging people.
That's right. You know what? That is another part of a toxic connection. These group text messages, that's a toxic connection because it's some people on text messages be waiting to see if a certain person respond. Toxic. Very toxic. A toxic connection.
I cannot stand group text messages. Mm-hmm. Because there's really there's no real value to it. Mm-hmm. Because everybody don't express their real selves. And they sit back and they wait on the next person to say what they're going to say. Mm-hmm. And it becomes a problem. Yeah. Point number 7, if they're not pushing you forward, if they are only holding you back, why are you connected to them? Broken relationships, but yet we still try to mend broken things back together again. Shatter some glass and see how long it really takes you to put all the broken pieces back together again. People are definitely losing the real reason for the season. That's true. Sister Shirley says she lost her mom 12 years ago and she misses her mother, but she still loves and enjoys the holidays.
That's right.
Because those are cherished memories that you'll never ever forget.
That's right.
Never ever forget. Because when true love is involved, you are able to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But when you sit amongst fake and phony people, there is no value to it. I cannot stand being around phony people. I cannot stand it. If you're with me, be with me. If you're not with me, please. I just cannot stand. There are people that I know that have personally tried to connect with me only because they felt like they could get something from it. Mm-hmm. Or felt like they just really wanted to know me. And truth be told, there are a lot of people who really just don't know me. People are so quick to judge somebody based on a Facebook status or based on a video. People are so quick, or based on what somebody else said.
Get to know people.
You got to get to know people first.
That's right.
Lord, I love to have fun. I love to cut the food and have fun. Why? Because life is so short.
Yeah. Get to know the connection.
Life is so short. Yeah. Fake is a no-no. Fake is a big no-no. Sister Audrey says, amen.
Amen.
So for those of y'all who are just kind of tuning in, I've given out some points already. You may have to go back and try to replay this, but that you will hear, make sure you have your pen and your paper. If you have people in your life that have never sown into your life, never sown into your business, your dreams, your goals, your vision, you have to reevaluate that. If you have people that are already seeking information, check that out. If they're not helping you grow spiritually, check it out. If they are not adding value to your life, check it out. If they're not pushing you forward but constantly holding you back, check that out. If they're not pouring into you and you find yourself doing all the pouring into them, that is a problem. It's a big problem.
To a certain point.
Okay, give us why.
Well, I just saying to a certain point because you never know. God could send people around you, you know, so you could pour into them. But now, it's been some years and you keep pouring.
I'm drinking some tea. And if I keep pouring this in my mouth, guess what's going to happen?
So that's why I say it's to a certain extent, you know, because some people, you know, some connections are good. We're not saying all connections can be toxic. You still have your good connections. So that's why I say into a certain point, because some people come through because they really need it. Now the other people, they come through, they need it too, but they abuse it.
They abuse it.
So that's why I say to a certain.
Yeah.
A certain.
And I took my last sip and all my tea gone, so guess what? I have nothing left to pour into me.